Well, hey everyone, how you doing? In this video, we're going to be making 3 air fryer recipes for the carnivore diet. And a few disclaimers before we even begin. You can use whatever air fryer you want. I'm using this New Wave Teflon-free air fryer that I got off Amazon. There'll be an affiliate link down below if you want to get this one, but don't feel like you have to. Disclaimer number 2 is I don't have much experience with these, so I'm trying my best to come up with good recipes that are going to be fairly easy as well as give you the most flavor bang for your buck. And disclaimer 3, I highly suggest you get some of these parchment paper liners for your air fryer. Just keeps things a lot cleaner so you don't have to wash this giant basket out every, 5 seconds. But without any further ado, let's get right into the video. Now, we want Philly cheesesteak, right? And that usually involves a vessel. But since I'm still learning how to use this thing, I just want to make sure I get cheesesteak right. The first restaurant job I had, we made Philly cheesesteaks. And we often use something kind of like this, but, not this per se. While this is a good option to have, the ingredients in this are literally just beef. Since I don't have the vessel of bread or the additions of onions or peppers or anything like that, I'm gonna go with as high of quality of product as I can. And here I have about a 12.5 ounce ribeye steak. And all I want to do is cut it really thin. So we have the eye portion here and we have the spinalis or the cap. And all I'm gonna do is separate these two pieces. And I don't want all of this excess fat within it, but I will be using it to cook with. So I have the eye of the steak, and I'm just gonna start cutting this as thin as possible. Get your sharpest knife you have available to you, and just start making cuts. All right, now that we have our meat shaved, and we have all the dog treats for the kids separated, let's get this seasoned up with about a half teaspoon of salt, about a quarter teaspoon of onion powder, and a big pinch of black pepper. Maybe about an eighth of a teaspoon. Let's get that mixed up. And obviously I'm gonna be using one of these parchment paper boats, and I kinda wanna take it and spread it around. If I have it piled up, there's gonna be parts of it that are just completely raw. And what I'm trying to do is get a little bit of color all over most of this. Just take your time and try to separate it at least a little bit. Kind of like 50% of all marriages. And we're gonna be just throwing the beef fat all willy-nilly. Forgot about one of the kids' treats. All right, let's get this into our air fryer basket. And then we're gonna place this thing in there at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for roughly 6 minutes. So let's go ahead and get the fat out, and we'll kind of make a pile towards the center because this is now gonna be our cheesesteak bowl. We'll take a slice of American, split it in half, and then top that with provolone. We're gonna throw it back into the air fryer for about 2 to 3 more minutes, or until the cheese is nice and melty. I'm gonna get this out onto a plate and show it off a little bit. So I got melty cheese, I got thin cut ribeye, it's seasoned nicely. Let's give it a taste. And if you're wondering why I went with American cheese and provolone, I really like American cheese in my cheesesteak, but also like the texture of the provolone that it gives this, and a little more complex flavor than just salty cheese. Honestly, you can use whatever cheeses you want. God, that is good. Oh my God. The onion powder adds a lot to this. It's obviously not just like real onions by any means, but if you want that flavor of a Philly cheesesteak, it does a pretty good job of doing that. The only thing that I don't like about doing this is that it's missing the vehicle of having bread with it. However, if you'd like to see me make a Philly cheesesteak with a carnivore bun of some sort, comment down below with a bread emoji, or say, hey, I want to see the Philly cheesesteak made of nothing but meat and cheese, or something like that. It'd be fun. So when I am thinking of air fryers, I'm almost always thinking of chicken nuggets, corn dogs, mozzarella sticks, stuff like that. That seems like what an air fryer would be appropriate for. That, or it's the meme that it's turned into, is you gotta air fry your nuggies and mozzie sticks, bro. But I was thinking on the mozzarella sticks, I've done that before on this channel, but I was at the store and I came across those. I think they're called Panino or something like that. They're usually, Panino, not panini. Anyways, they're like these mozzarella sticks, which it says fresh mozzarella. They're usually wrapped in some sort of fancy Italian meat, typically prosciutto, pepperoni, or dry salami. They're actually a really good snack. The problem is that they're quite expensive for what they are. This might be a good time to take the opportunity to turn something like that into something even better. So, Panino mozzarella sticks made at home. Here I've just got some normal string cheese mozzarella. You can use the block of mozzarella if you want. This is just what was readily available to me. Let's go ahead and get those unwrapped and throw the cheese prophylactic into the trash. To wrap these, I'll be using this Prime Fresh Delicatessen by Smithfield Hard Salami. You can honestly use whatever salami you would like to use, but again, I usually go with what's readily available. As you can tell, these are a bit too big. These are a bit too big to, fully encase. So what I'm going to do is cut these in half and make a bunch of mini mozzarella sticks. And for this, I highly suggest you get your Paris Hilton cheese knife. Just kind of adds a lot more flavor to it. All right, so we should get roughly 6 of these. So just take your mozzarella, grab a salami, put it on there, and I'm going to have to use toothpicks to help me out with this. Simply wrap it up. And honestly, you can just stop there and eat that if you want. But I'm trying to take you on a textural journey. We're going to explore our mouths texturally. So we have our paninos ready. We want to bread these. Obviously, we're using pork rind panko. We're also going to want to use at least 1 egg to dredge this in. So don't be afraid to make the investment on something that's going to taste really good. Ooh, egg joke. It's expensive. Eggs are expensive as hell. 2025 is funny. Give your egg a passionate, loving forking just until it's homogeneous. Let's go ahead and get our air fryer parchment paper. And before we even start coating this, I want to get my air fryer preheated. I'm going to set it to 375 degrees Fahrenheit and let it preheat for the duration of doing this, which will probably take me about 5 minutes. So now we get to play the fun game of dip and sprinkle. So if you're playing this game at home and you're trying to remember the rules, just don't forget that it's as simple as dip, dip, sprinkle. Dip, dip, sprinkle. Dip, dip, sprinkle. Dip, 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 sprinkle. And they are ready to go. Look at that. And as soon as I pull that up there, my preheat was done. Since they're ready to go, I'm going to throw them in for 6 minutes. I'm going to just kind of dress these up a little bit, a little greenery. You don't have to use that if you don't want to, but I got to make it look good. They're not as crispy as I'd want them to be, but considering that this took, 5 minutes to get ready, I'm not that worried about it. I suppose what you could do is par fry these in oil, but that kind of defeats the purpose of the air fryer being an easier option. These look really good. They have a nice little char on the salami itself right there. Cheese is nice and gooey. And let's just go ahead and give this a taste. Oh yeah. Despite it not being extra crispy, that little bit of pork rind and the egg actually helped to make it get a nice crisp bite to it. And then just this insanely gooey cheese coming off of it. It's just so extra. It's so good. But you could make these yourself. You could buy the little panino things. No matter what you choose to do, you're going to enjoy it. Before we continue on, I just want to say that if you're interested in supporting this channel, why don't you check out my company, Carnivore Companion. We have stuff like Gator Bite. It's spicy, will leave your food very well seasoned, and has an interesting kick towards the end. Check out all 5 flavors at CarnivoreCompanion.com. Use code CarnivorousChef to save 20% off your entire order, and turn your ordinary meats into extraordinary feasts. Okay, let's continue. Look, I'm not even going to pretend like I wasn't about to do something that I've already done before. So I was going to take this, turn it into salmon cakes, and as I was about to start filming, I had the thought, like, have I made this before? And yes, turns out that I indeed have made this before. And you can check that out right up here if you're interested. It was a really good recipe, and I would like to do it again, but I'm trying to give you some new stuff. So with some quick thinking, I think I'm going to pivot to wrapping it in bacon. Have I done? I've done this. I've definitely done this. Am I in a time loop right now? Where am I? What year is it? What's the date? It's March 27th, 2025. I'm not in a time loop. I'm just running out of ideas. All right, I got this. I got this. Give me 1 second. Just cut. All right, stay with me here. I'm going to wrap salmon in sweet Italian sausage. I'm not a genius by any means, but I think I might be up there with some of the greats. So to do this, let's get our salmon out of the packaging. And it looks like a nice piece of salmon. But what if I told you it's now 2 nice pieces of salmon that are pretty evenly cut? I'm proud of that one. And all I'm going to do is take some sausage out of its casing. And I do need some parchment paper. And luckily I have this giant container of parchment floats so that I can be pressing meat out. Look at that, huh? Isn't that nice? I just got off work, guys. I'm a little tired right now. It's been a long day. I've got my degloved sausage. I'm going to take parchment paper. I just want to get it thin so that I can begin wrapping the salmon in this. Take my salmon, put that on top of there, flip the other side. It should look like a thick Wendy's hamburger patty. Bear with me as I do that one more time. All right. Now, I'm gonna tell you right up front, I don't think that this is the most practical thing I've ever tried to do. So since you know that this one was not planned ahead of time, I'm gonna let you know right now, I don't know how I'm going to cook it yet, but as soon as it's done, I'll tell you exactly what to do. First, set your air fryer to air fry. Set the temperature to 375 degrees Fahrenheit and start it for 10 minutes. No need for preheating. After that 10 minutes is up, take the sausage wrapped salmon out, check the temperature, give it a flip, and then throw it back in at 375 for another 5 minutes. As soon as that's done, take it out, check the temperature one more time. It should be between 135 and 140. And once it's there, let it sit for about 5 minutes to rest, and then we can plate it up nicely before hitting it with just a little bit of parsley. And looking at this, I think that my thermometer is broken because this looks very well done to me. Maybe a little bit of it is medium, but for the most part, it's done. It's well done. I've got plenty of fat from the sausage to kind of make up for that. But what really matters is how does it taste with this flavor combination. That's a big bite. For the salmon being overcooked, the sausage did a lot. The flavor from the sausage penetrates the salmon really well. And it just makes like a nice floral, the light fishiness that comes from the salmon is nice with these flavors from the sausage. I mean, for being on the fly and this being the last second recipe, I'm gonna call this a winner. This one's really good. You should try this. All right, that's the video. Really hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more carnivore diet content, check out this video right here. It's the last one I posted. Or, just check out this one too. It's the one that YouTube thinks you want to see. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Like the video if you liked it. Comment down below what other air fryer recipes you'd like to see. And we'll see y'all next time.